Material prices are going up and building materials are becoming scarce. And schedules are getting all out of whack, and it looks like the pandemic isn't going away anytime soon. Now, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but contractors who take a proactive approach in mitigating their risks will be more profitable and avoid awkward conversations with their customers if and when your projects are delayed due to material shortages and price increases. Now that many project sites are back to full operation, the delay in construction materials and the rise in material prices are eroding profit margins for many construction businesses. If you want to protect your profits against fluctuating material prices and schedule delays beyond your control, then your contract should include the following clauses. Number 1, force majeure. Now this is just a fancy French word that means superior force, and it's defined as an event or effect that cannot be reasonably anticipated or controlled. Now many people equate this term with act of God, but it's not that simple. Your contract must be very specific about what it covers and what it doesn't. The next clause that you should have in your contracts is the escalation clause. The escalation clause is a provision in a contract that calls for adjustments in fees and wages and other payments to account for fluctuations in the cost of raw materials or labor. Now, construction business owners can mitigate or possibly eliminate the exposure that significant and unexpected material price increases have on their profits if they include an escalation clause in their contracts. Basically, how an escalation clause works is if material prices rise higher than what was included in the original bid, then the contractor will be able to be reimbursed for all or part of the difference. Now, these are typically used on larger projects, but it couldn't hurt to have some form of escalation clause in your contract. The next clause isn't really a clause, but more of a definition of additional costs. And I'm talking about mobilization costs. Mobilization costs are the costs that it takes to start the actual production of the project. These costs are normally included in the overall price of the project, but given the possibility of future shutdowns due to further outbreaks, limited building supplies, and other unforeseen factors, you may be required to stop work and remobilize at a future date. Well, who's going to pay for these multiple mobilizations? Well, it depends on how these costs are defined in the contract. In light of the pandemic, the language in your contract concerning mobilization, demobilization, and remobilization costs should be more extensive and something that you want to make sure that you pay attention to. And finally, you need to make sure that you have a clear termination clause. This clause defines how the owner of a project can fire you and, on the flip side, how you can fire the owner. Termination clauses can come in two basic forms: breach of contract or termination for convenience. But either way, they should not be taken lightly. Termination clauses should be written to not only protect your construction business, but also written to protect the owners as well. You want to make sure that all parties understand and agree to how the work will be performed and how to walk away if needed. So these are the 4 clauses that I recommend that you get into your contracts. And if you don't have them already, make sure that the language in those clauses speaks specifically to situations arising from the pandemic. Now, I've also given you a link in the post down below to another article titled "The 8 Contract Clauses That Could Sink You." You definitely want to read that one too. Now, let's wrap up this video with the 4 ways that you can protect your profits during material shortages and price increases. But before I do that, let's get very clear. I am not an attorney, and nothing I say here should be considered professional legal advice. But with that said, the first thing that I recommend you to do is to go meet with your attorney. Make sure that you have the appropriate clauses and contract language to mitigate your risk and protect your margins. After that meeting, you should make a video explaining your contract language. Shoot a screen capture video explaining your contract in the simplest terms possible. Then send this video to your next customer prior to execution of the contract. That way you'll give your customers the chance to understand how your contract works and how it protects them and you. The added benefit is that you'll save time when you execute the contract because you can focus on your customer's specific questions because they've already had the chance to watch your video. And this is something that you can send out for every customer. So let me be clear on this. The video that you're going to send them is not your specific contract with a customer, but your standard contract, your boilerplate. You're just trying to give them a high-level overview and emphasizing these clauses that we just talked about, so they shouldn't change. You'll discuss the specific details of your customer's contract when you meet them in person. So now that you've met with your attorney and made a video, you should contact your suppliers and negotiate lead times and bulk ordering options with them. You may need to buy certain materials earlier than you normally would have to ensure that you have those materials when you need them. Now, I'm not advocating hoarding here. I'm talking about proper planning. So talk to your suppliers and your vendors and find out what's available now and what they think their lead times are going to be. And do this often. Things change very fast. And finally, the fourth way to protect your profits is to build up cash reserves. Cash solves most of your problems. So go create a bank account and start putting 1% of every dollar that comes into the business into this account on a regular basis. Don't worry, it's just 1%. You won't miss it. If you don't touch it, then it will be there when you need it. And yes, this is the foundation of the Profit First for Contractors cash management system. I've given you a link in the article so you can get my book, Profit First for Contractors, and a link to a free video training series on the 4 core principles of Profit First for Contractors. Don't wait. Start building up cash today. Design better contracts to protect your business, your customers, and your profits. Improve your communication systems with your customers, suppliers, and your subcontractors using virtual and digital platforms like making videos, and start saving for a rainy day. The good news is that all of the things listed in this article will accelerate your business when storms aren't brewing. Are you looking to grow your business in a purposeful, profitable way? Then you need to enroll in the Built to Build Academy. We're going to teach you the Built to Build framework, which is a framework that's going to grow your business system by system and help you make more money, stop worrying, and get your life back. So head on over to builttobuildacademy.com, join the wait list. We'll send you some exclusive content and some free training videos to introduce you to the programs that are contained within the Built to Build Academy, and then you can enroll, sign up, and join the network of other construction business owners that are making their businesses permanently profitable, growing them systematically with the Built to Build framework. I'll see you in the Academy.